stick around. I want to get to our next guest. The economy among the top issues at tonight's debate. I mean, the economy is a big word, and it digs down into jobs, lack of wage growth, taxes in this country, people not in the labor force, entitlements, you name it. What kind of policy details does this gentleman want to hear tonight? He's Austan Goolsbee, former senior economic advisor under President Obama. He was on the campaign trail with the president back in 2008. Austan, good to see you. I want you to grade the economy right now, A to F. Give me a grade on it.
I'd give it a B or a B minus.
A B. How do you come up with a B minus when you've gone from growth in the second quarter that was above 3% that's now growing at 1.5%? It was almost 4% growth.
Well, I'd say I give it a B or B minus because I think that's about 2.5% growth. That's sort of what it's been for the last several years. Each year it gets better. It doesn't get better that fast, and I kind of think that's about where we've been.
Sub 3% growth for 10 years. Don't you think that gives, even as a Democrat, it provides opportunity for a Republican candidate if they can articulate a vision for the future?
I would say if they had a credible plan to raise the growth rate, that'd be quite important. What I saw at the last Republican debate and what we've kind of seen the dynamic playing out in the primary has been the group of candidates that kind of are not attached to normal reality, calling for 10% maximum tax rates and things like that. And you got Donald Trump saying he wants to raise the growth rate of the United States to 6% long term. Things that are completely not realistic are pulling the reasonable candidates off of their spots. And I think that puts them in great danger in the general election because that competitive dynamic's driving them into extremism.
But Austan, like I heard a soundbite from Hillary Clinton on the campaign trail yesterday, and she literally went back to the last Bush administration and blamed the Bush administration for what we've gotten in the last seven years. That she still if we have lackluster growth, it's the Republicans' fault. Does that really resonate?
You might be right that it may not resonate, but I'd be a little careful. Usually the Bush administration comes up, Republican says this is a lousy recovery. Democrat says, well, it's not really. The problem is the first 2 years of the Obama administration looked terrible because we're going down. And then since then, we've actually come back decently well. And then the argument gets over what happened in the first 2 years of the Obama administration. Right. And then the Democrats say, well, that was because of Bush. So I think there's a kind of repetitive chain that I agree with you. I don't think it's going to resonate. Right. I don't think arguing about if we did the stimulus work or not work in 2009 is going to be what this election's about.
Austan, I want to bring out, because I think, and I've touched on this earlier, one of the biggest financial issues for the American people is going to be and is health care. And it is the Affordable Care Act, where you've seen people's premiums go up who have these health plans, who couldn't keep the plans that they wanted to keep. And one of the bigger issues, and you saw it play out in Kentucky with the victory of Republican Matt Bevin, you've had a lot of these co-ops nationwide close. I think 12 of the 23 operating co-ops have already collapsed. Prices are going up. There's less choice. Shouldn't the Republicans be seizing on this if they want to get a leg up over the Democrats' nominee?
Well, I don't know. You may be right, but all I will point out is, like many things in the economy, there are different parts of the healthcare sector. In one part, overall, healthcare costs are actually growing at the slowest rate in 50 years since the Affordable Care Act passed. Now, within the exchanges, there are some groups whose premiums are going up rapidly, but across the board, healthcare has actually been surprising us at the slowness of its inflation.
But I'll say this, so both Bernie Sanders... Let me just jump in. I'll say this, but the increase in drug prices, or the perceived increase in drug prices, is such an issue that Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders have both jumped on that as kind of a centerpiece of what they're talking about.
I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that. And so what I'm saying is, I predict that you're going to see on health care the same as on the economy, that the Republicans in the primary are going to go after the people most dissatisfied with the Affordable Care Act. But we're going to see a weird flipping once you get out of the Republican primary. The overall opinions on Obamacare, in the polling at least, have actually dramatically improved from the beginning. Now, it was a low bar. I mean, they came out of the gate in a big-time stumble, but it has improved, and it's not nearly the negative it was in the past.
All right, Austan, it was good to see you. I last interviewed you the day after President Obama won the Democratic nomination back in 2008.
That was a good day.
So, I hope to see you more often. I'll follow you on Twitter, and you always bring it. People might not agree with you, but you definitely always bring it. Thank you, Austan. Good to see you.